Hello everyone, this is blog 5 for week 5. The topic for today's blog are data breaches, and specifically talking about examples of data breaches when it comes to private health information, and going to discuss some possible solutions that could avoid those breaches. So I'm focusing on examples specifically that violated the HIPAA law, HIPAA law, and some of the most common ones when it comes to data being leaked. One is snooping on healthcare records. I'm sure there's a lot of employees that have access to these records. That's generally what happens. And they might hear that a celebrity or even their family got admitted to a hospital or whatever the case, and just snoops through the records. Sometimes you even see that in the news where they sell their patients' information, so there's a breach there. A solution that can avoid that, I know at my organization we have something called Break the Glass, and it's within the EMR system. And what it does is it requires you to sign your password and a reason for opening this chart. So it is logged that you were in this chart, and it's usually for like high profile patients. And I do believe that they do a random audit where they can see which charts you've been in. I've known several of my colleagues that got a warning for being in somebody's chart. So although it doesn't completely get rid of, prevent that, there is still a way to downplay the risk of having people snoop in other health records, because they are aware of the consequences and usually they end up fired. All right. Another example is, let's see, I'm trying to think. Improper disposal of patient health information. Is not shredded correctly. It's not blacked out in permanent ink. They just throw it away, especially like paper records. A lot of organizations are moving towards electronic medical records, so that leaves a lot of paper charts. And with these paper charts, they get scanned into the electronic medical record, but these charts have to get disposed of properly, and that can be a huge data breach if found in the wrong hands. So there should be a protocol or a way to dispose of these records shredded correctly. I know we have like a contract, I think was Xerox or some company that comes in, shred it, and picks up these types of important documents, and they have a way of disposing them. And another major data breach is emailing patient information outside of the network, outside of the healthcare organization. And when you see these emails, you notice there's always like a disclaimer at the bottom. If this email is found in the wrong hands, let us know, or whatever the case is. And that's supposed to be like some type of protection of liability. But that happens a lot where the email is sent unencrypted to a private personal email address. That is definitely a breach of data. It's not protected. It's just sent into the web space. No cybersecurity, right? Another, I'll go through, let's see, one more. There's so many examples. So last example I'm going to use, very simple. When your computer or your paper chart is just hanging out, it's not covered. Anybody walking past can see it. They can glance at it, look at it. Who knows? They might even scroll down and look at the information on there. Even nowadays, we're using a lot of mobile devices like Volt, a lot of handheld devices, and it's like a cell phone. Someone could just leave it there, leave it on the counter or something, and someone can pick it up. Something to prevent that from happening. When you're away from your computer, you can lock or put your computer to sleep. That way you need password access to get into it, into your profile. If it's paper charts, cover it, close it in a folder, put it somewhere behind the nurse's station. When it comes to mobile devices, keep it on person at all times, right? And make sure you set up a password for that. Another example I'm going to use at my organization, when we use our devices, our mobile devices, and set it up, it requires you to come up with a PIN number or a password with certain points you're supposed to hit, and it will not let you skip. Like, it will not let you go past to use that device without setting that up. So it forces you to do that. And, at the same time, you should be cognizant of where you leave these devices. Laptops, things get stolen all the time. That could be a huge data breach, and I can only imagine. So all of these, I feel, touch on HIPAA, the HIPAA law, Health Information Patient Privacy Act, especially when you're a high-profile patient. I mean, everyone equally should have that access, that privacy protection. You're required to sign that in the beginning anyway, and you're given your rights as a patient, but as an employee, you're required to sign that you will keep the patient's information private. And if you're found breaking that, that could be your job, a lawsuit. Even hackers outside of the organization, if they access that, imagine all that sensitive data. That could be a huge deal. So cybersecurity needs to be on point when it comes to patients' privacy. But anyway, those are my examples and my possible solutions. Hope that satisfies tonight's discussion. Love to hear back from anybody. All right, thanks.